There are a lot of maps in Destiny 2, ranging from absolute trash to the cream of the crop. Today, we will be looking at the latter to determine which of the maps make my personal top 5 list. Now, of course, this list is my opinion. It shouldn't be taken seriously because, let's be honest, this game is fun no matter where we play. Even when I rag on this game, I enjoy it, and you should too. Anyways, let's get into the top 5 best PvP maps in Crucible this season. Coming in at number 5, we have Widow's Court. This map has plenty of places to go, with matches always being close, or a toss-up between who will win. It has plenty of cover and takes no time at all to get to a zone or an engagement. Now, coming from playing a good bit of Battlefield, I've always enjoyed playing in a messed up environment where people used to live, and this map activates the same blowing up Berlin neurons in me that also get activated when I play Battlefield. When I play this map, I usually don't interact with certain aspects or spaces since I fear death itself, which means I gotta put this map high up on the list. The heavy platform feels pretty exposed, which means that heavy is hard to pick up if there are any enemy players in your vicinity or even in that lane at all. Plus, the middle lane in general also encourages use of longer ranged weapons, which, up against a skilled player with, let's say, a sniper, means it's a death trap. Now, of course, that doesn't mean that there aren't good uses for long-range weapons all over the map, but when I use a sniper, I'm usually peeking middle first when heavy's up for that standard 2-second peek time in quick play to see if anyone is standing at heavy or running to it. As an alternative path, I know I could very well grab heavy through the castle, but if I meet anybody there, I am usually screwed. You see, I play Crucible like the slipperiest of bouncy boys, which means I like my floors brushed, mopped, waxed, and clean. I also have my buttons mapped in a certain way for skating on controller, so when I try to use my dodge and my air dodge goes off because I'm in the air for a frame thanks to the rubble, I get a little bit sad, and it discourages me from even trying to get heavy in the first place. Playing with every part of a map is something I really enjoy, so not interacting with one part of the map isn't a great fun factor for me. But this map makes up for it because of the setting that I mentioned earlier. If you take a good look around the map, you'll notice that this place is telling a story. A story about the Red War, which is something we don't see much of anymore, thanks to the content vault. The fallen tank and the Cabal drop pod are the main factors of this, and admiring the scenery makes this map one of my favorites. Moving on to number 4, we have Javelin 4. This is yet another map that warms my heart with scenery. The skybox is absolutely beautiful, and looking at it brings back a lot of memories of Io in the early days of Destiny 2. Sparrowing around the old areas and of Season 11, I can really picture that pyramid ship looming in the distance. Let's talk about the actual map though. This place has a lot of open space, which to me is usually a bad thing, but the space is used really well, and it still feels like the map has plenty of cover and gears towards clever playstyles that use verticality, which are my favorite. The map is balanced as well, which promotes opportunities for all weapon types. I could use a fusion rifle or a shotgun at B, or I could flank with a sniper outside, which are perfectly viable options here. Middle is also a great place too because of the rocket and the hiding spaces around it. And, speaking of spaces, one of my favorite factors is how this map sometimes breaks up the traditional lane rule. Most maps nowadays in PvP arena style shooters are composed of 3 lanes that have a few places or doorways to cross between the 3. Javelin 4 kinda has this, with the 3 lanes being B hallway, the middle, and outside, but there's enough turns and open points to where I see this map more in sectional places as I do in lanes. Instead of seeing the middle lane, like I mentioned earlier, I see the middle area with the rocket, and this mentality forces you to play the map a little bit differently than other traditional map layouts. And I know I'm not the only one thinking like this because I see other players move across the map way differently than someone who just follows the lanes. This natural free flow makes this map fun because you never know what lane the enemy will take when they rotate with you. It might be down the lane, or they might move diagonally across the map from, say, B to outside. There's just a lot of replayability here, which for me makes this map iconic for this game. At number 3, we have Radiant Cliffs. This map is polar opposite from most themes in the game because of its bright, vibrant colors that this place has. This is the only time that we ever visit this part of the Infinite Forest now, and I really miss it. Most places in Destiny are dark and listen to Evanescence, but it's obvious whoever made this was clapping along because happiness is the truth. However, the bright colors sometimes are a setback for this map for me personally. I don't know if you guys have noticed it yet, but I run colorblind mode to see the radar better. But it's the opposite in this map. I sometimes can't see a thing here. Why are you already trying to blind me, Requise? I can't see anything already! Like Javelin 4, this map is balanced well with weapons, if ever so slightly leaning towards the longer ranged weapons. But with as dynamic as the terrain is when it comes to platforms and levels, I don't really mind it. Everywhere you go, there seems to be a meaningful fight for something, whether it's the flags or heavy, and that makes me feel important. I'm always enjoying this map and anything I face in it with an open mind because of these factors. Let's move on. Rusted Lands is a great map. I could end this section here, honestly. This is a map that is spaced out so well. The time it takes to get to A and C flags is actually a little bit longer than getting to either B through A or B through C. It's almost like the map wants you to take the B flag and have that engagement there. This map is great for first-time players because of this, since it teaches you to capture and hold the zones by naturally pushing you to these locations. But that's not the only reason why I like this map. This here is the map to the, map, and from here you can see the 3 lanes. Here, I'll even draw it out for you. We also have 2 lanes here and here that also help split the map up. Now, when I did this, you'll notice that there are now a few grids in the area. These grids are usually where most fights happen because of the natural intersection of the lanes. These fights are usually made with short-range to mid-range weapons, and fights that take place in 2 separate grids usually involve mid to long-range weapons. Now, ask yourselves 2 questions. Where do you see yourself fighting usually? And, thinking of past engagements, what grids have clear advantages over others? These questions should help you to figure out ideal positions. For example, these 2 grids here and here. This part of the map is the only place I got dock points for, since coming out of the middle hallway is really hard to do if there is a player sitting at the ledge of A. There is no cover in this hallway from this side, which makes it really easy for the enemy to catch you out. If Bungie added half a door at this entrance, then maybe that grid wouldn't have a distinct advantage over the other. This map is a great intro map for learning positioning like this, which is the reason it is so high up on the list. At number 1, this is my all-time favorite map, Distant Shore. Every single aspect of this map I love. Let's start off with the looks. The skybox, love it. The cave, love it. The creek, love it. The scrimmage at B that usually farms hate mail, love it. This place is amazing at immersion, which helps focus on gameplay in every aspect I mentioned. The cave, the grotto, the creek, just add welcome layers to the simulation. It makes the map blend smoothly with each area. Just like Javelin 4, I once again think of this place in sections rather than lanes because, as you can see, there aren't really any distinct lanes. There are hallways to get to places, but the only lane that you can really argue is the creek going from C flag to A spawn. The colors here are also really bright and nice and helps with engagement and entertainment retention for me. Plus, I can still see my radar here. So, A+ some points here. I really hope that when Bungie adds in the new maps from Neomuna and Europa in May, they follow along this map formula here and not the standard 3-lane, recycled, reskin stuff that they usually side with. Maybe something like Retribution as an alternative? Hey, I'm excited either way. And there we have it. This was the top 5 best maps in PvP. Hey, if you like what you saw here today, go ahead and like and subscribe for more videos like this. Starting off by making these videos has been genuinely fun, and I'm trying to learn more editing skills, and seeing support for this is really appreciated. As always, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time.